Hey, it's Benjamin here from Beneficial Massive, where you, the masses, hopefully benefit from my reviews of video games, accessories and media, including movie and TV shows. Today we're taking a look at The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess for the Wii. It's the first Zelda game we've reviewed on Beneficial Massive, but not the last, as they're great games, as you probably know already if you've played one. I've played most of them and only finished a few, but I'm slowly making my way through them all. The action-adventure game Twilight Princess is the 16th in the series and gets pretty high praise, which is one of the reasons I bought a Wii about a year ago. When first playing it, it reminded me heavily of Ocarina of Time on the N64, but of course you can use the motion controllers, so it's fairly different. Twilight Princess was released on the Wii and GameCube home video consoles, but was originally just going to be for the GameCube alone in 2005. There was a delay, and so they decided to be ported to the Wii also. The game was released in November 2006 on the Wii in North America, and then in the next month it was released in Japan, Europe and Australia. On GameCube it was released in December 2006 and was the last party game released for the console. This awesome game was also ported over to the Nvidia Shield TV just last year in 2017. So the game's just over 10 years old, and does it stand the test of time? I think it most definitely does, as of course it is a Zelda game, and most of them, if not all, are pretty timeless releases. Zelda Twilight Princess was developed by Nintendo EAD, who gave us many of the other Zelda titles. It was directed by Eiji Aonuma, produced by Shigeru Miyamoto, and the artists involved were Yasuki Nakayama and Satoru Takizawa. I won't go into the game too much, as I want you to enjoy the story as much as you can yourself. When an evil darkness shrouds the land of Hyrule, a young farm boy named Link must awaken the hero and the animal within. When Link travels to the Twilight Realm, he transforms into a wolf and must scour the land with the help of a mysterious girl named Midna. Using the power and unique control of the Wii console, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess features precise aiming control using the Wii Remote. The Wii Remote and the Nunchuck controller are used for a variety of game activities including fishing and special sword attacks. Players ride into battle against troops of foul creatures using an amazing horseback combat system, then take on massive bosses that must be seen to be believed. Not only immersive but addictive. Once the quest has begun, it will be near impossible to put the controllers down until Link and Midna have saved the day. An excellent addition and homage to Ocarina to the franchise, and you'll have an enormous amount of fun playing it from the start to finish. Get over the fact that the Wii's hardware is simply not as powerful as the other next-gen machines out at the moment, and get into the fact that Twilight Princess is one of the best games you'll play for the Zelda series. The story focuses on the series protagonist Link, who tries to prevent Hyrule from being engulfed by a corrupted parallel dimension known as the Twilight Realm. To do so, he takes the form of both a Hylian and a wolf, and is assisted by a mysterious creature named Midna. The game takes place hundreds of years after Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. In an alternate timeline from The Wind Waker, at the time of its release, Twilight Princess was critically acclaimed, receiving several Games of the Year awards. As of September 2015, 8.85 million copies of the game were sold worldwide, making it the best-selling title in the series. In 2011, the Wii version was re-released under the Nintendo Selects label, a high-definition remaster for the Wii U. The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD was released in March 2016. Without giving away too much of the story, a cool part of it is you get to play as a wolf, as you can see. The story focuses mainly on our protagonist Link, who tries to stop Hyrule from being overrun by a corrupted parallel dimension known as the Twilight Realm. If you come away from the Twilight Princess without feeling you haven't played one of the finest Zelda games released, then you either A, have a pathological hatred of all the things for Zelda, or B, you seriously need to reevaluate the way you look at games. True, it is probably the least revolutionary Zelda since Link to the Past. Yes, it does feel a bit like Ocarina of Time, but as this is it's a masterpiece of game design and a genuine gold stamp. Stick it in the Hall of Fame Nintendo Classic. In the good old days before we all got our knickers in a twist about parallel occlusion mapping, that used to mean something. Twilight Princess is the perfect reminder why. Let's start with those much debated graphics. Now we all know that the Wii is no match for the Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3 when it comes to 3D horsepower. It hasn't got the CPU grunt, and while we don't really have much of a clue what the unit's custom ATI chipset can do, we can be damn sure that it can't compete with the Xenos lurking in the guts of a Microsoft machine. Even the biggest Wii apologies will struggle to defend some of the visuals in Twilight Princess. The Wind Waker was in many ways a more striking and beautiful game to look at. And there are moments, a forest corridor here, a dungeon chamber there, where the textures and modelling are so spectacularly average that they might have been sucked straight from the Ocarina cartridge. However, the more you play the game, the more these flaws disappear in a face of stunning, coherent and imaginative art. The lighting is frequently sublime, the character design is mostly wonderful, elements of the Wind Waker's visual style have crept in and added a luminous note of cartoon wonder to the proceedings. There are scenes deep in the forest temple or in the lava-filled depths of Death Mountain that are simply breathtaking, and there is epic architecture and waterfall-packed goodness here to match a lot of games. This is beautifully drawn, fairy tale world that you simply want to get lost in. Twilight Princess got pretty good scores in other reviews. It received critical acclaim and commercial success. Metacritic gave it 95 out of 100. Game trailers called it one of the greatest games ever created. On release, it was hailed as the greatest Zelda game created for although of course by now Breath of the Wild on Wii U or the Switch could most definitely change this. Anyway, I'm really enjoying playing this game. It has amazing dungeons, awesome graphics and an atmospheric soundtrack. The story is by far the best in the series. I know of course it's not Breath of the Wild, but it's definitely worth going back to play if you're a devoted fan of the Zelda series. I give the game 7.5 out of 10. I'd maybe raise or lower that score after I've completed it. It's just for you to keep in mind. I hope everyone is going well. Please hit subscribe and like, and I'll see you next time, people. Thanks for watching. Peace.